Hi people, how are you and welcome to the channel. I hope you're well. I'm well also. Today is Friday, it's Friday morning, and I'm undoing somebody's hair. I have a visitor here. You're going to see her in a while, and I'm going to introduce you to her and tell you why I'm undoing her hair. So I welcome you all. I hope you're fine. Um, I hope you're doing well and you're preparing for a good weekend wherever it is in the world that you are. I'm expecting some visitors later, so today I woke up to just prepare the house for visitors, and so I've just had a shower. We've had a brunch not very long ago, so I welcome you now to my video, and I'd ask you please take a moment to like and to subscribe so that you can help me get to monetization. We are on the road to 800 to 1,000. I'm remaining with 863 to be able to get there. So I'll appreciate so much if today might be the day that I might see maybe up to 5 new subscribers. And what happens is that if you're watching on somebody's TV, even if you subscribe there, that is just their account. So I normally encourage people subscribe from your phone, because when you subscribe from your phone, your account directly is the one that is subscribing to my channel, and not on just on one account, but different people even in the house will have become subscribers to my channel. So my friend here is called Joice Nabonya. I just know her as Mama Bache or Mama Wesley. I've known her for over 6 years, over 10 years in fact, since I first came to Ruai. So we are more than just friends. We are even, you can say, family by choice. You remember I was telling you about family by choice in the last video I did about when I went for my grandson's birthday party. Yeah, that sometimes some of the family we have are family by choice, friends who have become family. There's a special case about Joice that I'd like to highlight. I told you that I'm busy helping women right now, specifically women, to be able to overcome their challenges, financial challenges, by setting up YouTube channels, because people have such different stories to tell, interesting stories about their lives. And like I said, people have such varied talents that they're keeping quiet about because they feel that they are unable to showcase them, they are unable to show them to the world, and they are so good at doing specific things even around their homes, in their church places, in different areas, but they're keeping quiet about it. And so I'm encouraging women, I'm saying, put it out for people to see. You never know who might be interested in watching that. But there's always someone somewhere who is like, wow, that is so nice. Would you teach me? And then you might be a trainer of someone who's never had an opportunity to learn about that thing. And so Joyce is one of the people who has accepted that she had a YouTube channel actually, but a lot of people don't think of it in a monetary way because they feel that only, it's just a mentality that people have, that monetization is for the stars, for the superstars, for the top entertainers in the country. And there's a special category of people. Me in my normal state, I can't run a YouTube channel. I can't It can't make me money. Maybe it will just be for entertainment. And I keep saying no. Every one of you has the capability. If you get determined, you have the possibility of setting up a YouTube channel and actually taking it to monetization, and it becoming a source of income for you, and also a source of entertainment for many, and then also a place, a forum for you to educate others, to teach others, to encourage others, to uplift others. None of us is too rich that they cannot receive, and none of us is so poor that they cannot give. So I wish you blessings, and I wish you welcome again, and to remind you, please remember to press the like and the subscribe button. Now I'm doing Joyce's hair because she came to my house for me to show her about how to set up a YouTube channel, and how to do posting and all the little basic details that entail becoming a YouTuber and a content creator, because she used to do TikTok posting also. But the thing is, Joyce had a stroke not very long ago. She suffered a stroke, and it made her unable to do a lot. Right now, she's in a better state. because she's able to. Sorry, I have to adjust the camera because I'm still making my hair. I mean, undoing her hair. So I have to continue this so that by the time she gets to the salon, she's there's not so much to do, because I also don't want her to face a lot of discomfort with the inability that she has, because she suffered a very great disability immediately after the stroke, but now it's much improved. And if she had money for medication, she'd even be back on her feet and totally able to. But she still doesn't have full control of one hand. Nerves on one side of the neck are still not completely healed. And she walks with a very great limp. So I want her to have as little effort as possible, so that I don't make her walk a lot around and sit a lot in places that are not comfortable. I want her to be in the home setting for a bit more longer hours. And when she's going, whether it's to make her hair, it's just for a short while, and then she's able to go back home. I saw her hair, and of course, when you're sick, she's a single mother of 3 boys. She's unable to do her hair. In fact, she told me her youngest son is her middle son, Bache. Second born. Her second born is the one who did her hair. He's about how old, Bache? 17. He's 17. But I know these children from when they're young. They are so energetic, they are so hardworking, they are so vibrant, and they've always been around their mom when she's doing things, and they learn from her. In fact, when she's making your hair, when we're making extensions, the hair braids that we add on as extensions, they're actually able to come on and assist her to finish. And so they know the basic things about plaiting. So I'm not surprised that he made her hair. And we do have male stylists, hair stylists, and stylists and salonists for women. Yes, in Kenya we have that. So I'm so encouraged to hear that. But I thought, as a woman, I know how it feels when you're unwell, when you don't have somebody from family around caring for you. And even if friends come, they'll help you with this and that. But people will rarely look into asking you, and how are you feeling as a woman? Are you comfortable? Do you have enough oil? How are you handling around, being around the house, doing normal things as a woman, which you liked doing before, to look beautiful, to look nice? Is bathing easier for you? For me, those are the details that I follow through. I told you that in the period when I was very actively doing my community service, these are the little details that I'll do, which normally other people within organizations, they'll send what can I say, field officers to go and do that nitty gritty work of finding the little things in the house. Are there enough basins? Is there enough water? Are there enough plates? Those details matter to me. And so when I saw her, I understood it is a challenge, just doing basic things that people do, because when you have one hand that is no longer operational as it used to be, it doesn't matter that now she has a bit more strength in it, but there's a time she could not use it. The journey has been long. You can't walk to go to a salon. Even the money itself, are you going to buy medicine, or are you going to look into making your hair? And so I told her, what I'm going to do, let me cater for at least making you feel beautiful. When you go to church, when you're going to hospital, when you're around the house, for a few, because once you make, Joyce has lovely hair and she's a salonist. And she's a person who's always had her head looking beautiful. So I know it must feel so different for her now not to be able to do that. And so I want her to first make her hair. And then she has told me that she has a challenge getting her medications. There used to be an organization that used to assist her before, but it was closed down. A lot of organizations that were helping vulnerable persons, when the Trump administration came in, were closed down. I mean, in Africa, for a fact, not only in Africa, but in third world countries, and even in America itself, the Trump administration has brought a lot of changes, cut down a lot of aid. So she's one of the persons that has suffered from that. And so we are back to helping one another as community members. And I am particularly reaching out to you, my subscribers, in any way you can, to be able to assist Joyce. She's our neighbor. She stays not very far from where I am. It's a walking distance, but it might take me about an hour or half an hour if I'm working fast. But I do not want you to channel assistance through me, because I'm opening her channel. I'm going to make sure I put in her number. I'll try and see if I can open a PayPal for her, so that we can help her walk through this journey of recovering from the stroke, being able to buy medication. She has the eldest son whose education is assisted by our local elected leader, the member of parliament, who is Ronald Karauri, and we appreciate that. But she also has the other son, but that caters for school fees. It doesn't cater for everything. And while she was sick, she had a robbery where she was staying, because it was a rental and it was in an open place and it had no fencing. So 2 times when she went to hospital, thieves broke in, stole her gas, stole her children's uniforms, stole very vital things, stole her handbag, stole her clothes. And she's told me that right now another problem she's suffering is because of sitting down. She's not been able to move around a lot, to do a lot of work. And so, the sitting down, because of the inability to walk a lot, to do a lot physically, is making her put on weight. And she doesn't have a lot of clothes also that can fit her. She's gaining weight. And that is weight that is coming in when you had, for very many years, you've maintained the same weight. And so towards that, I've also told her clothes are not a big problem. I can very easily get secondhand clothes from flea markets around where I am, and even when I travel around, because I go to flea markets a lot. So I'm going to gather a few friends probably and ask them to chip in, and for as little as, I could say, even $50, if I contribute a bit and I keep on asking around friends, we are going to be able to raise enough to buy just a few dresses, just to ensure that she has enough clothes to feel comfortable in, because I can imagine it's not so easy, and then with only boys, and the older two are going and they are teenagers. The youngest is here with us. You'll see him in a while. Handsome little boy. And she has to stay with him in the house. So it can't be very easy for her. And he's supposed to be in school, but she did not afford the money, despite government being government schools not being expensive, but they have requirements. You remember what I was telling you? There are amounts that you have to pay to enroll the child, and once the child is enrolled, there are still basic amounts. It comes to about how much per term kwa year kingia nini?
1,500.
That's about it's about $2. It's about $20. Yeah, for but that is minus uniform. So it comes to about, let's just say, $50 in total for the child for the entire term, as a new entrant into school, including books and whatever little, and then lunch for carrying every day, a lunch box, warmer. So even that she doesn't have, because she needs medication, and there's a good Samaritan who's helping her with some of the medicines, not all the medicines. So what I've done is that I've asked her to ensure in her channel, she says all this from her own mouth, in the way that she understands it, in the way she's making you understand, so that we can see how best we can be able to help her. But the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step. And so what I'm doing is taking the first step. It might be very humble, it might be very small, but I'm doing the bit that I can. Looking good is important to boost her self-esteem, to encourage her, to uplift her. And I've just been telling her, even as she was narrating what has been happening in her life. The last time I saw her was, ilikuwa ni miezi ngapi? Siku ile tulikuja. Ni kama miezi 3, ilikuwa November.
Wakati tulikuja kwangu.
Na kina Janet.
Haikuwa November. I think ilikuwa mwezi wa 5.
Yeah. It's been several months since we last met her, and she's much improved from them. But, she narrated what is going on in her life, and I can feel the tears just on the rim of her eyes. And I've told her, you have to drop some of the pains. This is life. It happens. When you're unwell, a lot of people are going to neglect you, and a lot will care for you, but people from far. And don't hold grudges. Just let it be and appreciate and thank God that you're still able to move about and that you still have your faith intact. Your children are good. The children that you have now, they are in good health and they are going on well. Your health is improving. Keep it positive, because what you think is will going to determine how you're going to view things. And when you have all this pain, it's going to make it much harder for you to heal totally. And this constant, I think it's also because then you don't have a lot of people encouraging you when there's so much going on. She's telling me some nights they're almost sleeping hungry and the children have to go somewhere, ask for assistance, and then get food just for the night. And it's very unfortunate. I also feel very bad knowing that even I am limited as to how much I can assist, because it needs, there's so much that is at stake. You have to have continuous food supply, and then the children have so many needs in school. But that's why I'm coming out here to put this out to you. I know when it's one or two people working together to help one person, there's nothing that we cannot do. This is my humble appeal, my humble request to you. If you're touched and if you feel that you're able to assist Joyce in any way, I'm going to put her channel details here below. I'm going to have her speak just a bit here on my channel, and I've encouraged her. Do not let the story come from you. Let people not tell your story. Me, I can only give this brief, but she can best tell it as it is, raw as it is. She can show you what her house is. Let it not be me who is going to show you this is where she lives. And I remember I told you that with my organization. Don't worry, you're wondering why I'm not looking at what I'm doing. We are experts. Most of us black women, we get so used to doing and undoing hair. We can do it when we are beating story. We call it beating story when we are talking. But we are able to do it without hurting the person, because sometimes when I'm removing the way it was plaited. I'm just doing the opposite, unplaiting it. Yeah, unless it's hair that has stayed for very long, you just do the unplaiting. So you're unwinding what was wound up. So it's not very difficult. Yeah. So what I've said is that let her tell her own story in her own way. Let you see where she lives. Let you see how she gets on with life with use of one hand. She say unaweza shuka mtu kidogo. She can absolutely not plait, which is which is her main career. She can also bake. She can make yogurt. And I've told her these are things you can do if you're just coaching the children. Of course, they're in school every day, but I've told her no. You can still utilize your talent. And so I'm hoping to work out a way that my organization, Miale ya Imani, because I do training for women in different ways for self-empowerment. Since she's told me she got trained to make yogurt,
Baking.
and to bake, I can host a session and bring women here. I'm also good at making liquid soap. And probably you can have a half-day session where a group of women can come here, about 30 women, and we train 20 to 30, let me say 20 to 30 women. And we train them on the three things: how to make soap at home, how to bake at home using very basic ingredients, and also using charcoal stove and basic items, just what you have in the house, because the women that I'm working with come from vulnerable homes, or how to use a gas stove, but not everybody has an oven. And I know that I wouldn't be teaching about how to use an oven because a lot of people will not have one. And then also how to make yogurt. And these are skills that, once you learn how to do, not only will you be self-sufficient, making them for your own homestead, but you can also make them for commercial use. If you group yourselves together, and I told you that we have what we call chamas, we have get together, not organizations, we group together as women in groups of 10 or more, and you remove you remove money periodically, put it together, and then you can decide to set up a business together. So she'd be very instrumental as a trainer of trainers, or even just as a trainer, to come to one of those sessions. But I'd need funding for that, so I'll be remember I told you that I'm reviving my organization, and these are some of the things that some of these things are now brought by necessity. The need arises and creates a opening for a venture for me to go into this venture now, to be able to do this, help her while at the same time I'm helping other people. So we are going to continue this later. I want to undo her hair, finish undoing her hair, and later on, once we've undone the hair, and it's about it's just getting to noon. So I think about by 1 o'clock we'll be done. And as we are walking, and even before we leave the house, because we have to eat fast, we have a child here, and we must feed the child. We've had a brunch together, but we must have lunch together also, so that Joyce can get energy. And it's quite a bit of a walk. Remember where I told you where I walk to the salon? It's quite a bit of a walk, so we'll need to use they'll need to use a a motorbike to get home, because her home is quite a distance. I wouldn't in any way expect or ask her to walk all the way. And even getting to the salon, I'm going to see how it goes, because of also finances, and see if I can get. I have some money, but we also need money for the hair. But I'm going to find out if I can borrow from somebody quickly a bit of money, and then we can take a border ride to that place, because there's also the child. And it's very hot, it's sweltering. I told you this week we've been given a heat warning, and it is true. It is very, very hot. Yesterday it was impossible for me. I told you I was supposed to go for the prayers to my friend's place, who's lost the husband. I was totally unable to go because it was an evening time prayer. But with the little that I did where I was, it was so hot. I got back and I was totally unable to move out again, because I was going to walk. And I know what limitations I have over my body. So I'm planning to do that early in the morning tomorrow, because prayers and meetings are still going on at the homestead. And we take turns at going uh, to what for the vigil. We have nightly vigils, and then during the day also, as women, we go and converge at the home, help with the cooking, receiving visitors, and just generally consoling the family. So I'm going to talk to you in a bit, and please remember to like and to subscribe and stay on the channel.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago.
Oh, so people have taken a commercial break a bit, to rest a bit, so that she can also rest a bit. I think we are going to have lunch first, and then we continue with the undoing of her hair before we go. And also because, I told you that she's here with her son, and the child can't stay too long without a meal, and it's already lunchtime anyway. I can hear children coming from school. So we're going to stop briefly the undoing, and then it's really, 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 really hot, so that first we can have a meal, and then I'll continue undoing her hair after the meal. And I'll see whether I should wash her hair, because I have the shampoos, I have conditioner, I have everything. And I want her to spend as little time as possible in the salon. Persons with disabilities, because now she's a person with disability. When they are in a small space, place away from home, and they need to maneuver around, sitting with the. I've even told her that the hairstyle that she's going to make, will choose a hairstyle that is simple to make and doesn't take long, because if it takes long, she cannot maneuver to go to the bathroom as easily as here at home, because that is a bathroom that is used by more people, and then the child will be fussy, and it will bring a problem. So, and I don't also want her to get home late, because she's using public means and coming from a distance. This is not her usual area of residence. So we're going to make everything very hurried. But before we leave, as I'm going on, as we are having lunch, she had shot some videos. I had instructed her to make an introductory video before she comes, which she had done. Though the phone has problems, I've tried to rectify as many as I can because it was just an issue of sound and clarity. And I've told her it doesn't matter. You'll work with what you have until you're able to afford more. And then I also don't want the older sons to come from school and find the house locked and the mother is not there, because they had anticipated to be finished and back home by 2 o'clock. So I don't want it to get to 5 o'clock when the boys are leaving school and she's not at home. So what I'm going to do is we are going to have lunch right now. I'm expecting visitors later on. And I also have to make sure that everything is ready. So I've stopped what I was supposed to do. I was washing dishes earlier on, and I was I had already arranged the house in readiness for receiving my visitors. But the washing of dishes has waited because what I anticipated has come with a bit more complication, and I must try and make sure that as she leaves my home, I've settled one or two challenges, immediate challenges. What I told you is that I deal with clients when helping the vulnerable from my organization in a holistic way. So I look at the small things that matter a lot to people, but they'll not be able to talk about. But I know that if you have this challenge, you also have that other one. Like maybe there is not going to be supper, maybe you'll arrive home to start looking for vegetables. I'm catering in a little way a bit of everything for that, to ensure when she gets home they have a meal ready and waiting, and the children are not having to look upon her to go and start looking, at least for tonight and then tomorrow morning. So we'll catch up with more now after we've had lunch. I'll let you know before we go to I'm going to do the washing of the hair here, then I'll bring you in and then you'll be able to see. washing her hair, and it's already 4 o'clock. Because it took time to remove it and then we've had to wash it. So what we want to do is to call one of the older sons to come from school because it's nearby, to come and pick the young boy, and go home with him, so that by the time we go to the salon, because it's a bit of a walk, and with her partial disability, she's walking slowly, so that when we get there, it doesn't get late, and then the child is with us, because she's going to have her hair blow dried and also made. Even though it will be a simple style, but she has thick hair. You can see her; she has a lot of hair. I know this is a salonist, so she must also be made well. So, but because we might get out of there coming into darkness, we'll call the other boy, tell the teachers to ask him to pass by my house and then pick the young child, so that now I can go walking with her slowly. Only after the salon is when we can take a boda, because now it's going to be a bit difficult to get a boda from here. Then on the way home, she'll take a boda right up to home. So we'll walk with you the rest of the journey. Yes, nyanyauka at least. Hiyo kitani inatoa maji kiasi.
Si hata ishakauka. Ni maji ya juju tumebaki.
Unajua unasahau bado. Mtu yule bado hapo anakunywa dawa. Hafai kufanya maji kwa nini? Kwa kichwa.
Lakini kichwa si baridi.
Utampatia nini afunga?
Shawa.
Tanga.
Lakini ni wewe utaifunga.
Kwa sababu hii itaendelea kikunywa na kikausha na kipigwa. Uzuri nywele ni mingi. Kwa hiyo at least.
Wacha nikwambie, wakati watanichana itabaki kidogo sana.
Oh. Hata uko na bahati ya kuanguka na kitu yote kwa mgonjwa. Hizo magonjwa.
Unajua sasa mimi nimeishi
kumaintain
napata treatment. Nilikuwa na treatment kwa nyumba, imeisha sasa.
Acha sijali, nitafunga tu na nguo kwa sababu natafuta ile ina rangi.
Kapkati ulikuwa nini gani hii hapa?
So acha tujaribu moja hizi zingine tuone. Yeah. Tuone kama itafanya. So I've tied the scarf on her because she can't tie for herself, and also because it's going to keep her warm for the few minutes before the sun arrives, and also before we go to the salon. It's very important that her head not feel cold, because anybody who is still on a medication and is considered right now, she's a special case. We can say that because of the trauma that her body has undergone. So it's not good for such a person to have a head that is lingering on when it's wet. So I've told her to stay on with the scarf. By the time, in about an hour, by the time the sun arrives, and then it's very sunny outside, we're going to sit outside. It will keep on drying. Then after the children have left, we just leave immediately. And by the time we get there, because the weather is so warm, we'll just walk when she still has this. And so also dust doesn't get in. It will have totally dried, just ready for blow dry and for making. mbele. So we are walking leisurely. As you can see her pace, because we have to walk slowly for her to be able to cope. We are going to get, the child has been taken, the younger one has been taken, and they've already left for home. So that immediately she leaves, she's just going home alone. But the small child has already arrived home, and the school going ones are all with them. So we are going to get there, then her hair will be made, because it's just blow drying, straightening it. Our African hair, once it is washed, it curls very, very, very much. That's why you saw me having problems combing it out, although it was also because it had stayed for long when it's plaited. But naturally our African hair curls a lot, and so we need a heat to straighten it and make it easy to set and to plait, to make a hairstyle using their own hair, even without extensions, with or without extensions. But her pace is slow, so I have to keep in pace with her, just walking slowly until we arrive at the salon. Then she's made and I escort her. I ensure she gets on to a matatu safely. The goodness is that it's a very short ride from my place when you're going by public means, and not a long distance to walk. So it will be fine if she goes alone. So thank you so much, and again I'll appeal to you to go and watch her channel, see her story, hear her story from her direct, not from me. And if you can in any way support, please do. About 8 o'clock, and the hair is about to get finished. We came to Wangare, you know Wangare salon, where I normally come, because she makes it so well. And we also know one another, all of us, for over 10 years that we've been here together. So my visitors have just arrived. I'm going to pick them at the stage, and we've made arrangements how she's going to go home. We've also met another neighbor here. Mama John, say hi. Hi. Mama John is a neighbor also. We've also known one another as a community, all of us, for over 10 years. So we've all pulled hands together, and we've ensured that everything is going to be well for tonight. I give thanks to God, because this is just favor and grace that has followed me. So I'll give you a small peep of how it's going on. Her hair is so long. You saw how it was. I told you African hair is very curly. Sasa imekuwa straightened. 1 minute. That is going on. Very smart. It's going to be simple. She can't use her for now, so that without her hands, hair can stay held in style. It will be so that when she wakes up immediately, it's this shape. It doesn't have to struggle with her. Rushing to pick my guests. They are at the stage, and because where the salon is near the stage, and they've just arrived, I'm going to pick them, and then we'll just walk slowly down together, because there's a baby and there's another child, and we can't all go on a border. You watching that? Yeah. So yeah, that's been a good day, and I've noticed that when you tell about an issue and you reach out to community, there's immediate support, because the sisters that I was with have very immediately reached out, and each has contributed in their own way to ensure that today Joyce is going home when she's happy. And they've told me not to bear all the weight of the cost. What I've done is enough for today, and they've taken over the rest, and I really appreciate. I give thanks to God, and I'm reaching out to you and asking you and calling upon you that please, whatever it is that you can do, nothing is too small. Reach out and see if you can assist, whether it is even just giving prayer or sending a note of well wishes and upliftment. That will be good. Be blessed. Asante.